Okay.
Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. I don't know if it's visible.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, great. So this is the item wizard, as we call it, which is basically mimicking the item master form on your Oracle
Yep.
instance. Okay. And since you mentioned it is somebody from your item lifecycle group, so I thought I can start here and then make some bombs for the items that I create here. Does that sound like a
Okay.
good plan?
That sounds great.
Okay, great. All right. So as you can see, I mean, typical to any of our wizards, Navid, you've seen one or two, right, already?
Yes, I've been already using the item wizard.
Oh, you've been using it? Okay. You already have the...
Well, I've been doing the trial mode, but I've been testing a lot of stuff in it.
Okay, so do I need to go into this or you both are familiar with it? I mean, I can skip this and straight away go to BOM in that case, if you're familiar with the item wizard.
I think we should go to bomb.
Yeah, I think we can go straight to bomb.
Okay.
I think the item is pretty self-explanatory.
Oh, great.
I
Okay.
mean, from what Naveed's walked me through with it
Okay.
already,
Okay,
I think
great.
that'll be pretty easy to use.
Okay, great. If that is so, I mean, you're already up to speed with a few things. That'll be pretty intuitive then to translate to some of the other wizards, because most of our wizards are pretty similar. What we do is we just have a few status columns in the beginning, and then we start off with just gathering all the fields from the forms, multiple tabs, multiple button clicks. We just gather all of the fields and just put them all together in one flat spreadsheet. And then you can always trim it down, change it, make changes to it and all. So this, I don't know if you have seen this one, the item extension wizard, which comes along with the item wizard as part of the same license. So I'm not sure if
Yep.
you've seen this. Okay, you've seen this also and played around
Yes.
with this? Okay, great. Great.
Yep.
You guys are already far ahead than I thought. All right, and then we come to the BOM wizard.
Yep. That's the one I'm really
Okay,
interested
okay.
in. So, okay.
All right. So actually I have a few items which I'd made and which didn't have a BOM, which were, so as you can see, I typically use a lot of formulae and VLOOKUPs and all to make my assembly names for various demos.
Right.
I just changed. So you can do all that, whatever Excel allows you to do, all that is still available on this, because to start with, it's just an Excel. Until we make the
Yeah.
connection, it is just Excel. So I won't
Right.
save this. Okay. Okay, so these are some items I have, and I believe I don't have any bombs against them. So I'm just going to highlight them. And typical to our wizards, we have the status columns here on the left. Now the advantage with a BOM wizard, if you have always worked with items, is that this one doesn't need a second step of submitting the concurrent request. We are directly working with the APIs, and
Right.
we don't need to submit the concurrent request or anything. It's just a one step here. So that's a big advantage from item wizard. And same as the item wizard, there are status columns on the left, and then we have our header and then the detail columns from the BOM setup form. If you recall that, we have all of those here, implementation date and everything. And then the main tab with item sequence, components that you want to list out, effectivity dates, okay, and then planning, roll up, WIP supply. And again, all of these, just like the item master, we have a form that you can pull up by just doing a double click on it, and you get complete lists of values and everything. So let me make the connection, and maybe you can talk through, what is your scenario, how many, like what is a typical thing that you do on the bombs? Is it just setting up new bombs or changing any components,
It's
resource?
Yeah, it's all of those things, from setting up a new bomb to replacing an item within a bomb
Okay.
to deactivating
Mhm.
um, any number of, I mean, you name it, we do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's a very hardcore maintenance around bombs creation to managing to attribute level to as org level.
Okay.
So very very um, like data driven and by organizations and different requests or requirements.
Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, which is very typical. So a lot of maintenance on your bomb structures and usage
Right.
and everything. So we have all of these, and as you know, we can trim down take off, substitute components or whatever is not mandatory and that you're not working on. You can trim it down to suit your needs. But for now, I just put, yeah.
I'm sorry. So you basically you can create a sheet, right? You can just go to Item Wizard and select what kind of attributes you want to enable. So then you can create your sheet. When you say you hide it, but it's still when you click that create sheet, it will enable it again, right? Unless I check it off from the Item Wizard.
No,
Right?
this doesn't work with the Item Wizard. I mean, it has no interaction with the Item Wizard. So I think your question
Oh,
was.
I mean, what I mean of that wizard that allows you to select what kind of attributes you want to see. That one right there.
Yes,
I
yes.
think
So
you guys have
unless,
a different name for it here.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, here it was customized fields in the item master, and here you can specify mandatory
There it
columns.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can
This is where
edit,
you can select.
or you can edit template. So what controls the new sheet here is really the template. So when you click on edit template,
that's what I was talking about. Okay.
yeah, so it makes a template 1, 2, 3 visible. And whatever is the layout of this template 1, 2, 3 is really what is going to come up at your new sheet button click. So you can modify this, change it, and then make sure you hide it back because we don't recommend using this for your data loads. So when you click on this, it's like a toggle button. When I click on it again, it hides the template 1, 2, 3. And now whenever you click on the new sheet, that's what is the layout which will take effect.
So then you kind of design your layout in template 1, 2, 3.
Right.
And then you hide it, and then the user will just use the new sheet moving forward.
That's right, for it to take effect.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
That way you never lose your...
your master, basically.
Layout, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now when you go down into the weeds, there are things like, I've already set up my data. I don't want a new sheet and start afresh. Things like that start coming when you get into the weeds of everyday data maintenance. So what we also recommend is if there's something that you forgot about after constructing the data, you just remembered, oh goodness, I had a DFF which I had to populate for all of these and I don't want to, go back all over again, create a new sheet. Then you can just copy that column name from your master sheet from the template 1 to 3, because essentially everything is driven by the column header which you see on row number 9. This really is the tag that identifies your data. As long as you don't change this, you can just insert a column. It's as simple as that, and name it the exact same as in template 1 to 3, and it takes effect in this new sheet. I mean, in this existing sheet also, because it's all XML.
Then the column name. That's very cool that you can just add a column, but the key there, I just want to make sure we don't forget, is the name should match with template 1, 2, 3 column name.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
This is really the
really
key between the two. It's like the connection between the database field and your column is really this name here. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. So I mean, yeah, those are all minor things which you'll start getting if you use it on a day-to-day basis. So all right. So we have this set up. I can double-click and pull up the form just for you to see the list of values and everything. Okay.
So this is the building material assembly, okay?
Right. So it's just validating. When I load the form, all the LOVs get refreshed from the EBS instance. If there is anything new, that will take effect. And then you have, yeah, go ahead.
Is this, did you say this is connected to EBS or is it connected to the spreadsheet, the worksheet?
The form?
Is this form, this form, the data source is from the downloaded items or downloaded the data, or is it from Oracle itself?
The Oracle itself. So if you see this organization list of values, these are all your active organizations, which you would see on the BOM, the form setup for the BOM. You would see all of those in your list of values. And it's pre-filled with the data that you have on this row when I double click. It's just pre-filling from there, but the LOVs and everything are coming from EBS.
Just like they are in the item sheet, in the item maintenance tool.
Right,
correct?
right, exactly. Yeah, it's the same.
I told you wrong because I thought it was looking at the spreadsheet itself.
No, I kind of assumed that it would work the same way that the item utility worked.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so all of these are coming from EBS. If you have a new whip supply type defined, that will come in your list of values. Of course, your current data comes from whatever you see here is from the row that I double clicked, but all the values that are acceptable to EBS are available here.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So the item, the component is from the spreadsheet.
Yeah, when I double click.
Yeah, I see. So that's from the spreadsheet, not from Oracle.
Right.
Then you can use, so the drop downs are from Oracle. I got it.
That's right, yeah.
I got it, list of values. Now I got it. So it's still driven from the spreadsheet based on what you downloaded or you manually put. But then the list of values for attributes such as the supply type, sub-inventory locator, that's all from Oracle tables. When the user doesn't accidentally put something fat finger or put something wrong.
Correct, exactly. So on the form it's
But you could also enter it manually into the spreadsheet if you want.
Right. So the spreadsheet you can either download or put it in there.
Yeah.
But this section is always from your spreadsheet. But these drop downs, it's going to Oracle to see what Oracle we have.
Yeah. But I mean, but if you.
And that's why I wanted to clarify that header is that header connected to Oracle or not, because that would be totally cool. But okay. So.
Yes. So if you are starting afresh, now let's say I have a new one, then it'll start out blank. So if I just double click on a blank row, it'll be totally blank. The form starts out blank just like your Oracle form. Just the defaults would take effect, whatever you have. But other than that, it's like a fresh, clean slate. Okay, and then it'll pop in the values.
What the form is really helping us to do is really to go through that row and the attributes to set up for each item.
Right.
It's like us navigating through each column.
Exactly.
You can use that form to navigate through the columns and then add change the attributes.
Right. It's as if, you don't want to miss out on the interface that Oracle gives. Like Oracle gives you the form, and we didn't want to, make the users lose out on that interface either. So it's just like an option to access the same kind of look and feel, or the user interface.
Same drop down.
Yeah, exactly. Just like EBS.
Or use the form to manipulate, right? All kinds of stuff.
Okay.
Cool. That's cool. Okay.
So then you put the parent item goes under that
assembly.
Is that what that assembly is? Is that the parent item?
Right.
Correct?
Yeah. And then the components.
By that column.
Yeah. That's exactly right. So these are the components and the item sequence. Now this comes to the line level. So this was all the header level, and this is the main tab, and then you have several other tabs if you recall. So there's the effectivity dates and all, and then you have the order entry shipping on the second tab, and then you might have more on the component cost, substitute components, and all of those. So I'm not really,
So when we're adding components, so 2 questions. And this may be a silly question. So if we have already all of the components built, so we've already gone into the item, I'm going to call it the item utility. I don't know if that's the right name for it. But we've already gone into the item utility. We've already created all of our components. They are already enriched at the level we want them to be. But we haven't yet created that parent part.
Okay.
Do we have to create, so kind of 2 questions. 1, do we have to create that parent part in the item utility, or can we create it here? And then 2, how do we pull all of those components into this worksheet if they're already existing?
Okay. So,
does that make sense?
Yeah. So let me answer the first question. So no, you cannot create new items or assemblies here, because it's exactly similar to the, I'm simultaneously opening up the form just to give you a better idea. So it's exactly similar to the BOM setup form, the bill of materials form. So just like you wouldn't be able to create an item or an assembly there, it has to be defined in the master items. It is exactly the same. Yeah. And if it is something existing, we can do the same download along with all the components. So let's just create these, and then I can download and do some maintenance on it. That'll give you an idea of how you can download existing components. To address your second part, did I understand that correct? Your second question?
Yep, I think so.
Okay.
The way I envision that, why she's doing that is basically, let's say you create a new BOM, and the BOM is similar with cover BOM that we have already today. So you download that cover BOM with its components, and then you change the assembly number, and then you then create a new one.
Yeah, but I think what she's saying is you can't do that way.
You can create BOM, right?
So unless
You could
the
not,
item, unless
yeah, the item has to be,
I'm assuming the item is already created.
you
yeah,
mean
of course.
replace the parent number with the parent number.
And then the components
Yeah.
already there. Good.
Yeah, you could do that. You
What
could use
I'm
an,
also thinking, though, is in terms of the stage test, in terms of creating top-level bombs,
Yeah.
360, where those bombs won't be existing anywhere else. So we can, create the first one and then go from there. But my question was just where, if the components already exist, how do we?
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
okay. I think there is, or
Because you have a lot of common items.
yeah, so as you can see here, I think I did some mistake with the name of the assembly, so it doesn't let you create a new one.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
so it
The
just says
item
that
must exist. Yeah. Okay.
item must exist, yeah. And then there was another level of error here which says something with the effectivity date. You cannot change the effectivity date to prior to the current date.
Oh yeah, you can't retroact, which makes sense. Why would you?
Where is that? Where is, I mean, I'm not so conversant with this. So the implementation date has to be, or does it have to be the effectivity? What is it complaining about? How do I correct this? Oh, this one has to be today, is it?
Yeah, it can't be an earlier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Effectivity
okay.
has to be later. Yep.
Okay.
It has to be. It has to be 2017, not 2015.
Oh, I see. I see. All of these have to be today. Okay. Yeah, that's data issues. Yeah, but as you can see, it is kind of doing all the validations, as it's a good way to validate that it is
Right.
actually.
I mean, the tool. Yeah. What I like about this tool is that yes, it catches it before we upload it, which is good.
Yeah. And why is it not doing the calculate?
You have to save your sheet to make it work. Maybe you set the map to save and then run the formula. Maybe that's what it is.
I don't know. No, sometimes this sheet is not enabled for, I don't know, that happens sometimes. But anyway, I'll just put it as 0 once. It has to be today, or it could be.
Could be today.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah, it could be today, but time, I will put the time in future time. Like an hour from now, something like that.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Yep, it says the 11th, yep.
So it could be a future date, but not past.
Right. Future date, current date, but not
Okay.
current time minute, right? Because once you load it, you pass the minutes and time. So we need to make sure it's an hour ahead,
Okay.
at least, if you do current date. Which I don't think we ever will do. We always just future date in advance. And
Okay. These did not even exist. Okay, and I think these did not even exist, so I'm just correcting there. Yeah, I think this is all we have, so I'll just do an upload all again. So I don't have to clear the errors or anything. I just have to upload all. And it does the same kind of validation again. So as you can see, the download is there for the other side of, making updates to existing bombs, or, just viewing them and using those for creating a new one.
So, quick question while that's running. What Excel version is this? Is that a 2017?
No, it's 2013, I believe. It's Office 2013.
Freaking behind.
Well, yeah.
Once again, complaining about the effectivity.
Yeah, you probably have still components there.
Well,
So,
but is it the components? It should just be the top level, right?
Your parents, your assembly day, the assembly date time, the time is not good.
No, because 25 worked. Row 25, line 25.
What was 25 time was? I think the time was higher.
No, was it? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Bill and material accepted. Oh yeah, you're right. Way to work then. That's crazy.
So maybe scroll over to the right on row 25 and see what that was.
Yeah, I'll take a look here once this is, these are getting accepted, so I'm not sure what's the difference. Maybe when I So it just gives you a summary. 2 were loaded, 4 were rejected, and the error messages are here. Yeah, I mean, if you work with data that you are familiar with, that will make better sense to, decipher what the errors are. Yeah, but
quick question while you're fixing that. How many rows can we download and upload?
It's basically Excel, limited to, just Excel. So I think I had an effective 2 on this one. So it highlights that, which is before that, so it's saying that, no, you cannot do that on this one.
Yeah, right.
So just, as I said, yeah, go ahead.
So that effectivity date, you're going to remove it and then that should...
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 2012. There you go. Now, so the number of columns doesn't matter, right?
It's just limited by Excel. Yeah, I mean,
okay.
As far as it can go on Microsoft Excel, and which is pretty high now on the after the old ones. Yeah.
But then, how's the performance when you have so many rows and columns? Would it impact the performance as far as upload goes and validations and all that stuff? What's the recommendation?
Yeah, no, I mean, it depends on your infrastructure and how you're connecting. I mean, mine, if it's VPN remote, obviously it takes more. If it's within the LAN or within the same, DMZ or something, it is obviously faster. So you just have to test it out against your instances. But we have known people to use it for really huge volumes of data. There hasn't been any real concern, especially with the BOM and item side. It's pretty powerful on these set of wizards, and there's nothing on the Oracle side. I mean, on the Oracle layer, it's just as if somebody's working on the forms. It's not going to affect the performance of Oracle either.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's lots of ODBC connection. It's not an ODBC, but there's lots of connection here, right? And then on top of that is the concurrent, which is all interface. It's all in Oracle. But the reason I'm asking is because of our laptop, basically laptop RAM, gigahertz, and then also Wi-Fi connections, and then or landline. I'm just trying to figure out what's the right or appropriate number of columns or rows. I mean, columns probably we need whatever we need with number of rows, so then the team is not waiting so much.
Yeah.
But this tool is already going to help them a lot, but I'm just trying to figure out the recommendation.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, anything that you can trim down is, if you have like data sets going into thousands and tens of thousands of rows, obviously it's better to trim it down. That's obviously going to help. But like I said, I mean, it goes in the background, so you could always navigate off to something else, while that is running. Yeah. You don't really have to watch it. Yeah, so there's no such constraint. I mean, if you get you have a timeout on your Oracle sessions. Not exactly session, I should say. It's on the request or the concurrent, if you have timeouts, that could be the only thing that you might have to raise or work with. But other than that, there's really no constraint. And, it's performance itself, it's just contingent on what you have in your system or your setups. So I would suggest just try it out with your volumes of data, and we can help out if there is any concerns.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay, so I'm going to download these existing BOMs, and I think I'm kind of getting to what you had. So the 2 that were created, I'm going to just put the org, inventory org, and the name, and I can just use download using sheet data here. Okay, and then here there's a provision that you can just do all or current and future or current, so you can just bring down the component rows. If there's effectivity dates that you don't want to see the past ones, there have been a lot of revisions and you just want to filter off those, then you can just say current or current and future. But in my case, I'll just say all. And then it could also be as of a certain date. So if you're just investigating something, you can go back to 14 and say, I just want to see current as of that date. Okay, so you could even do a retro kind of an investigation into what the BOM structure was then. And then you can also explode to any number of levels you want here. And then if I download, it's just going to download based on this. Okay, so all the components will come down based on the criteria I gave there. So I said all columns, I mean all rows, whatever past, current, future, whatever there are. And if there is any
So that's
explosion.
pretty much going to download all the bombs, right?
These two.
You didn't put, oh, these two, because you select those two already.
Yeah, I did.
Right.
I put M1 and the name of the assemblies, and then I highlighted them, and then used the
Got
download.
It.
So it's just
Can
going
you try, can you look at the download form too?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, it has criteria, so that's the only difference via form.
So in download form, I'm just trying to see, okay, so we got, so you can download by revisions, alternates, category.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you can
Range.
use very used to download.
Yes, for the components.
Very used, cost type, and search current. Okay, which is what you kind of have.
Yeah, and you can do an explode also. And
what is explode exactly?
Number of level. So you can.
That just does, okay.
It's like your subassembly, and then it's structure and the subassembly, you know, all the drill down structure. Yeah.
I was just trying to make sure it's related to the same. Okay. And then let's see, organization. So you can use org. So if can I just put the org and then download everything?
So leave this blank, assembly from and to. Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah. Leave this blank and you would be able to get all of them from that org. That can be done. Or you can, you know, do for a certain category. That can be done. Or where used if the component is changing. You can just do a where used and it'll download all those bombs.
So at the end of the day, we could use this tool to create, to modify, and to validate.
Yeah.
Right.
So making changes. Database. I know. Yeah, right. So making changes to bombs is going to be a piece of cake.
One of the real wins, one scenario where this tool is very, very popular, or it's a clear win, is when there is a component that is getting obsoleted and replaced with another. So the beauty here,
a lot of that.
Okay. So the beauty here is I think we can get down to only those rows. So if I uncheck this, include other components within the bill of materials, then it, you know, if I check it, of course, the whole BOM gets downloaded. But if I'm just going after that specific line where that component is, it'll just get those. I'll uncheck this and ask for a specific component and only download those lines. And then I really don't even have to weed through a lot of data. I just have those specific lines from all the BOMs. I just go in and update those.
So you're pretty much saying, if I, just to make sure I understand, so if I check that include other components, it will literally go pull from the top model all the way down to raw material, depending on the explode top to level, right?
Depending on the explode level. If I'm looking for a specific component.
So if you want, so one example of how we would use that. So let's say we have a bomb, we need to replace a bomb anywhere that there is a, I'm just making it up, this specific remote that always includes this specific bubble bag. So we know that in any BOM where this remote is used, we also need to replace or swap out the bubble bag, so then you can make that change by using that check. When you have to make changes to multiple.
Weeks of work to maybe 2 or 3 hours of work.
Well, you know my time for you.
Thinking of you probably like.
Okay, and then there is one feature in Oracle which users said they kind of miss here, and we tried to do a similar thing, which is compare BOMs. So we did a little bit of a, you know, similar functionality, not exactly. It's compare worksheets. So let's say I downloaded this BOM here. I can just go to a new worksheet and download, let's say I'm comparing UCH 16 with UCH 17. I just have to go to a new sheet. And basically I can do a compare worksheets. And so let's say, where is the, I'll just go to the M1. And the assembly, I'll just grab this one. Okay. And I can download it here, download using sheet data. And I'll say all. So it's a little more literal in the sense that it's just going to do a text compare, but it kind of serves the purpose, I mean, for the compare BOMs, similar to that. But
So
it's just
if there are differences, would it highlight it?
Yeah. But it's just a text compare. It's even like a very literal in the sense that if row number 13 even just splits over, like there's a, I'll just do a new sheet and I'll show you that. So let's do a new sheet again, and I'm going to do just 17 in place of 16 here on the new sheet. And again, do the download. Oops, sorry. I didn't do the 17. So change this to 17 because I want to compare the two. And I'll do a download using sheet data. And again, all. Okay, so now I can do a compare worksheet. So sheet 1 and sheet 2, to compare the two BOMs, what I can do is compare worksheets, select other worksheet to compare. So BOM Wizard, and it's sheet 1.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's going to compare this with that. And it's very literal, so you have to make sure that it's on the same row, starting on the same row and things like that. Otherwise, it'll even highlight. Yeah, so it's not very powerful or very robust, but it serves the purpose. I don't know how often you have to do it, but 255 cell
You'd be
content.
surprised.
Okay. Yeah, so you see here that the name is different, so it highlighted that, and then whatever differences are there, it says this is not equal. So it just generates a new comparison and says this one had D and this one has A, and these three were same, but then everything else differed. Those kind of things it'll highlight.
Those are different.
Yeah. And it'll list both. So it was sub-assembly in one case, purchased item in another case, it was 6 in one case, this in another. This was the same in both. So it's just a cell-to-cell comparison. And it highlights wherever the cells differ. So cell-to-cell.
The important part, go ahead.
The cell-to-cell, like-to-like, this BC and row 13 was 100 in the other worksheet. It was 100, these matched. So that's why these didn't get highlighted, whereas like-to-like cell differed here. So yeah, you really have to position it also in the same row and everything, otherwise.
Right. Assemblies have to be.
The worksheets need to be perfectly the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Even if it starts on a different row, your BOM starts on a different row, it'll be off. So it's a little too literal. Yeah.
What if I copy my sheet 1?
It'll be nothing will get highlighted then. It'll be literally the same.
I think what he's saying is if you copy your sheet 1 into your sheet 2
and then
download using that as a framework.
Right.
Yeah. And then you take off. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that should work, but as long as you take off sheet 1's components before downloading.
Right.
Yeah, right, because the components are different.
Well, we can leave the component. We can erase all the columns except the inventory org and the assembly. And then just like you did, select those rows for the assembly and the org, and then just do download sheet. Right? And that will keep them in the same row.
Okay. But if you don't have any columns, you're not getting any information then. I mean, you need these columns too.
No, what I mean is the data in the columns, the content.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, you could do that. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it will pretty much work faster. Yeah,
right.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, anything else? Let me just go through the features if I missed out anything. Usually there's a whole user guide, online documentation link from here. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there planning percentages?
Planning
percentages attribute?
As an attribute, okay. Is it just a field? I'll have to look for it. Let me see.
Right, it's a field called planning percentage.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know if you guys call the same thing, maybe call it different.
Planning percent, yeah, it does seem like it is there. Yeah.
Good. Maybe my query can use this too.
Well, if we get him to.
Yeah.
They don't use planning percentages at all for other reasons.
Well, maybe he can start using numbers this.
Well, no, but they don't like planning percentages in general because they're not time-based.
Yeah, I know.
So that doesn't, with ASCP, it's
just, okay, cool.
Okay, anything else? I'm also trying to pull a, features list so that I make sure I haven't missed anything. There is a
Can I go to my concurrent request from here?
Concurrent request?
From my Excel file, or do I have to go to Oracle? I thought for Item Wizard you guys had that. What about BOM?
Yeah, that's because we had to submit the item import interface, but here we don't because there's nothing to do with the requests here. It's directly calling the APIs. So we didn't provide that.
So I cannot see that. So when I do the upload, I won't be able to see the request status.
There's no request as such. It's calling an API. So it's not submitting a concurrent program here. It's directly.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, so it's directly making
API.
the call.
Okay.
Yeah, making a call to the API and passing all this. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And then to upload, you simply do the same thing. What is the validation messages? That's just saying pretty much, what is that, like validation message on the top next to upload arrow? What does that do exactly? I know we have validation column. Is that just driving those messages again?
Upload error, the ones underneath here, or?
No. On the top in that header.
With the exclamation point mark on the top? Go all the way to the toolbar.
To where you hit in the toolbar next to the upload arrow.
Oh.
Next to upload arrow. Yep.
No, right,
oh, these. Okay. If you want to turn them, it's show hide error messages. Yeah, if you want them to be.
Show and hide. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a toggle switch if you want to or do not want to. I don't know why somebody would want to hide the messages. Yeah.
What is attachment?
Yeah, you can do there is an attachment section. So if you want like how the paperclip works on the Oracle side, you know how there's a paperclip where you can. So the same thing can be available here. So there should be an attachment section. Probably it's not on this one.
So is this is not connected routing? Do you have is routing separate?
Routings? Yeah, there is a routing wizard that we have.
Okay.
I can pull that up. Oh, you use attachments over there? Okay. Yeah, I can show you that one also. Yeah.
That's where we put attachments for mattress label picture. I don't know if they want drawings for production to look at it, because that's what
but I don't think we do.
Yeah, you guys actually help with that.
Okay, so this is the attachment section. If I can browse and attach a file type. So it's the same. If I double click, it brings up the file.
Right.
And I can.
You have to put a link here, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, or you could have a text also. If it's not a file but a text, you can just type in the text. If it's a file, it'll let you browse. Yeah, and put the path of the file, and then when I click on upload attachments, it'll upload all of those and attach them to the BOM.
Next product is routing.
Okay. I could quickly show the routing wizard since we have a little extra time. I mean, if you're interested.
Yeah, could you just walk us through that real quick?
Yeah, sure. And I'm just going to do a summary of all the wizards also. I have a little PPT which kind of summarizes the key features on each. So I'll just go over that maybe so that I don't miss out on anything.
Because we do routings for each work, if we eventually in the future add more manufacturing plants, or we have more sub-assemblies, then we want to handle routings. Become more time-consuming than today. I'm sorry, what? In categories?
In my query, I don't have it in my query.
That's probably why.
No, and I'm using the same structure ID type as one of Bridget's reports, thinking that I should be able to get the same.
Okay.
Okay, so I think there's some, yeah, here it is. So this is the routing wizard, pretty similar. You have your, I'll just change it to UCH that we just did and make this 16 and 17. Are you able to see the routing wizard that I'm sharing now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, won't go away.
Okay.
Okay.
So here, there are a few differences. There is an upload mode where you can just say create or update. You know, so you could be doing a create and update in the same. So this is a defaulting row. I just put it as create here. I'm going to create these routings. Okay, alternate, all that is here, and then you have all the sections. You don't need all the descriptive flex fields if you don't use them. And here again, I have to specify the mode as create. I just put it on the defaulting row so that I don't have to keep typing it every time, because everything is a create when I start out. So here's the effectivity dates. Again, I think it'll crib for this. It should be effective today or something, right? Again here. So I'll just try to do the same. Okay, here it works. And take this off.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
Yeah, I mean, all the stuff, the operation sequence is there, you know, operation description, the department, resources, usage rate, and then you go to alternate resources, I'm assuming somewhere.
Alternate resource, yeah, I think there's a section for that.
Right, and then operation resources here, and then it gets to alternate resources with lead time, and then you have all the, it's literally like Oracle form, right, just in columns and rows.
Right.
Yeah. Attach, and then
yeah, you have attachments also, yeah, so you could put in your attachment.
Yeah, we don't have to walk through this in detail. I just wanted to see
right,
the form.
Right, yeah.
I know the function works. This is cool. So, are you interested in anything specific right now? Are we done? I think we're done.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I mean, what other we had, I can just, so this was the item wizard, you already have that. Bill of materials, so I went through create or update, enter reference designators, all of those cost types, download them. Search by where used, we talked about that. And you could do compare BOMs also, which I haven't listed here. Right. You can explode them. And I think there's one for routing wizard also. And there are, let me try to think what else we have in the manufacturing and inventory suite.
Question for you. So can I get is there a training document for this? Or do I need to create one?
No, there is an online documentation accompanying every wizard. So if you go to setup and scroll down.
I looked at that, and it's not just really user-friendly.
Oh, is it? Okay. There's multiple tabs and all.
Okay. I mean, it's good for someone like me, but for our end users, and if it was more, no offense, but just I'm just trying to make it right, more simpler. So it's easy for them to read and understand. There's too much information in there.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is the only documentation we have, and I agree. It's more like a reference. It's not for somebody totally fresh to start off with. It's more like, so somebody's using it and just wants to do a reference into some feature, and then you can go in here.
Right. Yeah, well, I'll look at it again. Worst case, I'll just create. Can we go? Yeah, I mean, look,
this is the typical layout, yeah. So it's not really, it doesn't handhold you from the start to the end, yeah.
But it's also a good resource if anyone wants to find.
And that's fine for like support, if in case you want to have an extra knowledge, but just basic to start, right? Here's how you click, here's how you do, here's like something navigationally.
Yeah.
Just like step by step.
Congratulations, my friend.
Yeah, it's not like a, what do you call a, like operating procedures. It's not like that, yeah. If you're looking for that kind of a document, like an operating procedures document, is it?
Right, almost. Have you ever used UPK?
Yeah, we have. I mean, no, I mean, I have in the past, not here. So no, we don't have any UPKs.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like that. If you know the concept, that's what I was kind of looking for.
No, we don't have anything of that.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean there are some online videos. Yeah, there are some online videos on our website, and then I've recorded this session, if this is going to help. So it's like a video to look up.
Right. Can you hear me too when you talk to it? Did you record your voice too?
Yes, of course. Yeah, it's like a complete recording. I can share it with you. Yeah.
Excellent.
So now they're going to hear our funny conversations too. And I just said this too so they can hear about it again. All right. So I think we're done. I really appreciate it.